If you love the idea of living among rolling hills with beautiful views of the Cascade Mountains, downtown Salem, and the Willamette River, and you just want to be minutes away from some of the most amazing wine country in the Willamette Valley, as well as being super close to farmland, well then West Salem might be the right neighborhood for you. It is peaceful, it is quiet, it is a place where you're going to see kids running around the neighborhood, riding their scooters, riding their bikes, people out walking their dogs. And at nights, it is super quiet. You're going to hear being serenaded by frogs, crickets, owls, the occasional coyote. It's a place you're going to see deers just randomly crossing the road. Your neighbors may have cows and horses and chickens, so if you want fresh farm eggs, sometimes they just put it out right there on their porch. And you're going to see wild turkeys just crossing the road in the neighborhood as well. These are just some of the reasons why my family and I chose to make West Salem our home when we relocated to the Salem area. So if any of this does sound appealing, you're going to want to stay tuned for this video because we're going to take a vlogging tour, a driving style tour, where I show you where all of the amenities are in West Salem, the different types of neighborhoods, and the overall lifestyle of living in the West Salem area. And one of the best things about West Salem is that you can live on the outskirts of the city and still be within 10-15 minute drive of the charming downtown area where we find some of our favorite restaurants, favorite coffee spots, bars, movie theaters, our favorite bookstore, as well as a old school arcade and coin jam, and so much more. But you don't have to cross the bridge into the downtown area because everything you need is right here in West Salem. All of your supermarkets, your restaurants, and some shopping, it's all right here. So you don't have to cross the bridge. And you're gonna have a better understanding if you stay tuned through this video of what I mean by crossing the bridge into West Salem, because it is a real thing that people get kind of hung up on. So you're gonna learn more about that. Also, if you like what you're seeing behind me, I'm gonna come back to this neighborhood, give you a little bit more detailed information, and show you the lifestyle of this particular neighborhood. It's one of my favorites. So you're gonna have to watch in the middle of the video to find out where this place is at. So if you're ready, I am. I'm gonna jump into the car and we're gonna get going on our tour. Okay, I think the best way to get a lay of the land of where West Salem is compared to the rest of Salem is to kind of take you from the downtown area. So right now we're on Liberty, and we're going to be getting into Marion Street, making a left there, which will then take us right over the bridge. Now I mentioned the bridge because that is really the only access point to get over to West Salem. There's a couple other ways, but they take you way far out. It's like 30 minutes outside of Salem, 20 to 30 minutes. So the bridge, and that's what everyone talks about. So we're going to be making a left right now onto Marion Street. And the reason why everyone talks about the bridge is because people feel like it gets a lot of traffic, and it doesn't, I guess it discourages people to go into West Salem if you're living in other parts of Salem. Now, if you're living in West Salem, you're definitely going to cross the bridge because it's really the only way to access the rest of Salem. And my experience with the bridge has not been bad at all. It takes about a minute or so to cross the bridge. If there's a little bit of traffic, add a few more minutes. If there's an accident or a lane is closed, then it's a problem. Then it can take a lot longer. So I'm gonna switch the camera around just so you can see what it's like to go over this bridge. Now the bridge is going over the Willamette River, which cuts across Salem. And to get into West Salem, you can stay in these two right lanes. That's going to take you onto Wallace Road, which is a main north-south street. Or if you get in your left lanes, your left two lanes, it could take you to Edgewater, the end of Edgewater, which is kind of at the ends of West Salem, where you get some shopping going on. Now, let this car in. So you can see it splits off to the left, where it says Oregon Coast, so you can actually get to the coast if you continue on that highway, or you can get off one exit and it takes you to Edgewater. The other option to hit Edgewater, which is a street straight in front of us, is to get in the left lane now and go straight, and you'll get on Edgewater where you're going to find shopping, retail, restaurants, markets. But we're going to veer right, and this is taking us onto Wallace Road. This takes you kind of to the heart of the shopping area, one of the hearts of the shopping areas of West Salem. It's not a long street, it's about a couple blocks. There's a lot of fast food on this restaurant, When you're on Wallace, it's more of a quick food, fast food dining experience. Some shopping centers, which we're going to get out and show you. If you're on Edgewater, it's a little bit more sit-down restaurants, a little bit better food options. So I'm going to switch you around here, back to me. So Wallace is the main north-south road. This is going to take you through, as I mentioned, a lot of the shopping areas. We're going to make a right here. And if you continue on Wallace Road, which we'll go in a little bit, it'll take you through farm country and into wine country, and eventually into McMinnville, Dayton, and other parts of our other cities in the outskirts. We're going to head into, let's switch you around here, one of the shopping centers in West Salem. This is where Roth's Market is. It's a little bit upper scale restaurants, a little bit upper scale market compared to like Kroger, Safeway, Ralph's, those types of markets. Not as quite as high end as a Whole Foods, but I like what they have there. They've got some specialty foods. Let's switch you around here. They got specialty foods. They've got a grill there where you can get hot food. They've got a great bakery, in my opinion. Good wine selection, good produce. They have people making sushi there every day, so I think that's pretty cool too. We're gonna hop out of the car. I'll just take you around the shopping area to get a better feel for it. All right, I hopped out of the car. I'm at one of the major intersections. Behind me is Wallace and Glen Creek Road. Glen Creek Road is one of the major east-west streets that crosses Wallace. If you take it west, you're gonna go into residential areas. Now, most of West Salem is residential, and it's only about a couple square miles of where you're going to find your amenities, your retail, shopping, restaurants, and so forth. And I'm standing in front of one. I just drove into the parking lot where I show you Roth's, and I talked about that. It's one of my favorite markets. Behind me at Glen Creek, you're going to find one of the 3 gas stations in West Salem, one of the least expensive. And there's a Chipotle at the corner as well. So there's about 4 shopping centers in West Salem, and they're all very close to each other. And I'm gonna turn the camera around. The one that we are at right now is where you're gonna find Roth's, you're gonna find a liquor store, you're gonna find hair salon, nail salon, a Starbucks, Burger King, and there's a gym. So that's where you can go get a lot of things done here. There's also some credit unions and some banks in and around this shopping area as well. Now, as I continue walking, we're going to hit into Wallace Marine Park. It's one of the major parks you're going to find here in West Salem. Softball fields, soccer fields. I'm actually taking you over there just to give you a better idea of what that's like. Also, you're going to find Courthouse Gym. Probably some B-rolls coming up right here. Courthouse Gym is great. You've got indoor pool, outdoor pool, sauna. You've got basketball courts, yoga studios, of course, whatever gym equipment you can imagine is there. The outdoor pool is only open during summer, maybe the tail end of spring, and then it kind of shuts down. But you do have the indoor options. They have a lap pool and a warming pool, as well as a big spa. They also have swim lessons, where we take our kids for swim lessons. They have different classes. I like it. It's a great place. We continue walking. You're also going to have a post office. You're going to have the West Salem Library. It's a very small branch. It's not open every day, but if you don't want to go head over to the bridge and head into downtown where the main Salem Library branch is, it's a good option. We go there for our kids. Our kids are voracious readers, so we go there all the time to check books out for them. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into the car, and I'm going to take you into Wallace Marine Park, because it is a big part of West Salem, and there's also some things you should definitely know about it if you're thinking about moving into the West Salem area. All right, we just jumped out of the car and we're at Wallace Marine Park. You can see behind me, you've got some really well manicured soccer fields. There's a lot of tournaments, weekend play here, kids and adults. And then in the distance behind me, you've got a really cool softball, baseball complex. Now I can't get there, well, I can walk over there right now, but driving over there, they have it gated off, but it's a really cool facility. They've got a snack shop. They serve beer and burgers and fries and cool baseball snack food. They got softball leagues there. Again, kids tournaments, weekend tournaments. People actually travel from across the state to play in big tournaments there as well. Great fields. Behind me, if you can see, you've got a newly built playground. They had an older one there, but they just revitalized it, made it nicer. So they've got a really cool playground behind me there. And then I'm gonna swing behind me over here. Behind me is more soccer fields, and again, where you see a lot of kids and youth soccer leagues there, especially on the weekends. We'll take a little walk now. The other neat part about Wallace Marine Park is that you have river access to the Willamette River. You can actually unload your boats, your jet skis, and take advantage of all the great lake play, or river play, not lake. Really good spot for that. So easy if you live in West Salem and you're into boating or jet skiing or anything in the water, you could launch right here off of Wallace Marine Park. Now I will say there is a big homeless element here in Wallace Marine Park. Now you can see right now, I've panned over quite a bit during my walk here, you don't really see anybody out and about in the main part of the park. I'm gonna flip my camera over now. See the tree lines beyond the playground equipment? Well, there's the rivers behind these trees, and this is where all the encampments are, is behind it. You can't really see them from the road or from the park, but if you go in there and go into the trees, if you wanted to go close to the river, you're gonna see large encampments, tents. People got like little mini cities in there. It's actually quite bad. Now, I've heard a lot of people in West Salem talk that they see a lot of homeless around here. I go to this park often. I don't see it, again, out and about. They're kind of hiding, but that's not to say that, you know, at night, maybe they do come out and about. I don't know. I'm not here at night. However, if you go kind of wanting to take advantage of the really cool riverfront area of this park, that's where it can get probably kind of dicey. I know they've done a lot of cleanup there, but they just keep continuing to come back. Salem does have a homeless problem. It's usually mainly in the downtown area, in a specific area by Marion Park, which is kind of adjacent to the bridge that we just went over, and a little portion of the downtown, a little scattered throughout the downtown area, but not as bad as big major cities. But however, in West Salem, you're gonna see the homeless element behind me in the Wallace Marine Park area in the trees there. So we've covered the park. We're going to jump in the car and we're going to go to another shopping district or center area so you can see what amenities are there. We're back in the car and we are back on Glen Creek. We're getting out of the Wallace Marine Park area and we're headed over to Wallace Road. We're going to make a left there and a quick ride into another shopping center so you can kind of see what amenities are there. What I really do enjoy about West Salem is that everything's kind of in one spot. You don't need to travel all over the place to do your shopping, get your food, get gas. All your amenities are kind of in, again, 2 square miles or so. What I also really enjoy about West Salem is that I just kind of feel away from it all. I'm not near all the hustle of downtown or other parts of kind of the suburban spots of Salem. I feel like I can breathe easy and get to wherever I need, but still live kind of on the outskirts of town. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to move to Salem. Actually, I did move to West Salem, is because I wanted to be away from it all and have some space, but yet be still close enough to all the amenities that I could want. Behind me, we just passed Ace Hardware, so they got a local hardware store. Of course, we have our big box stores in Salem, but again, if you need something quick, you got Ace right here. And I'm gonna turn you around. So we're on Wallace, heading back towards the bridge, just to give you an idea of the lay of the land. Back towards the bridge. So if we go straight, we're gonna be right onto the bridge into downtown. But I'm gonna make a right here into the next little shopping center area. So where we have our Walgreens, AT&T, dry cleaning store, Jamba Juice, another Dude Donuts came in. It's a local donut shop here. It's a chain, but local to us. Wingstop in this center, and you got physical therapy. So another little shopping center area. We'll drive through it. Yeah, Panda Express. Again, West Salem has a lot of fast food. A little too much for my taste, but if you need something quick, you're gonna find it on Wallace, that's for sure. So we're gonna make a left out of this shopping area and back onto Wallace Road. And right in front of your screen now is going to be the Circle K gas. That's our second gas station to the right. And there's a third one that I'll show you on Wallace. Pretty much all your gas stations are on Wallace. So we are making a right back onto Wallace. Straight ahead, we're passing Hawaiian Time. They got a Hawaiian restaurant here. Again, straight ahead, Dutch Brothers, I'll point out, popular coffee spot. Let's try this again. Straight ahead, we're going to hit the bridge, but we're not going to go over the bridge because that'll take us out of West Salem, and the whole point of this vlog and driving tour is to show you what West Salem is all about. So we're going to make a right, and this is Edgewater, and this is going to be the southernmost east-west street in West Salem. You're going to West Side Station, which is a little bar area. You got Goodwill to the right. So along here, it's kind of a little eclectic shopping. You've got bars, you've got karate studio, you've got a used bookstore, which is, I like books. I like going to used bookstores, so we just passed that right here. Making a right, you've got Little Lois, which is a sandwich place. Great sandwiches. To the left, you have a little walking path along the freeway, so not the greatest. You've got a lot of cannabis shops here. And then this is where you're going to find some restaurants right on this street here, this block. You've got the Vault Bar and Grill. You've got the Ring of Fire dessert place. I'm going to swing you over here so you can see me. Ring of Fire dessert place, which has some sweet frozen treats. You got the Back Porch, which is barbecue. That just came into West Salem. Really popular if you like barbecue food. I do recommend it. We've got Momiji's, which is a sushi place, one of our favorite spots in all of Salem. Happens to be in West. They've got other Salem locations. And then you have Annette's. I'll turn you back around here. Passing Annette's on the right here is casual food. We got breakfast, kind of a casual American eats. You've got the Rabbit Cellar. We just passed that. Little pub area, serve food. Nice little spot, a little hidden. Now we're entering into another shopping district area, and we've got Safeway, which is, everyone knows Safeway, just your regular standard supermarket. So we have a higher end Roth's, and we have a Safeway in West Salem. Turn you around here so you can see what it's like going into the center. You have Nancy Joe's. Now, it's controversial. People either love Nancy Joe's or they think kind of it's whatever. I think the burgers are pretty decent. Not my favorite, but pretty good. Dollar Tree, Safeway, as I mentioned. And then over this way, excuse the road bumps here, you've got Wallery's Pizza. Now, Wallery's Pizza, again, if you're a local born in West Salem, you swear by Wallery's Pizza. I think it's pretty good pizza. Is it my favorite? No. But it's good. Kids like it. I like it. They've got a little arcade in there for the kids. So a lot of the local sports leagues have their award ceremonies there, which is nice. But it is a popular pizza place. I'd say out of all of West Salem, I think it's the best pizza. And there's a handful of pizza places here in West. We're going to get back down here. We just are exiting on Eola Drive, which is a street to get into the parts of the residential area, but we're not ready to go to residential, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. We're going to go straight across to another kind of shopping center area, and this has one of my favorite coffee spots in West Salem. It's Urban Grange. They got coffees, teas, pastries, baked goods. I do a lot of my meetings there with clients. I like taking them there. And then you've got a Taekwondo center. You've got another bar, a pub here, and I think physical therapy, some other Subway, and some other little casual eating spots. So we'll take a drive through there. I'm turning you around, show you what it's like to enter. So straight ahead, Urban Grange. As I mentioned, professional services, State Farm. Here's the other pizza place that people like, Odd Moe's. I prefer Wallery's, but Odd Moe's is good. And then you have West Side Growler Grill, or Phil, I should say. That's another bar and pub. Not a whole lot of nightlife in the West Salem area. In general, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know there's not a whole lot of nightlife in Salem, but especially in West Salem, you're really not going to find much. There's a few bars and pubs and grills, but nothing, no clubs to any speak of. All right, now that I showed you where a lot of the amenities are, where you can go shopping, restaurants, and whatnot, we're going to start seeing some residential neighborhoods. I'm going to take you into the Flats, which is the neighborhood closest to Edgewater and Wallace, putting you kind of really in an ideal spot if you want to be within walking distance, a bike ride, or a short car ride to all of the amenities that we just talked about. However, the homes here, and you'll see them, I'll turn the camera in a minute, they tend to be a bit smaller, a bit older, smaller lots, and so you do sacrifice in size if you're looking for something bigger. It is the least expensive area for the West Salem area, around $300,000 or so, and we're going to take you into neighborhoods that are a bit more expensive than that. I'm giving you an intersection here. Just turn the camera around so you can kind of see an idea of what these homes look like. There we go. So you can see these homes have a lot of character and charm, craftsman style, bungalow style. So if you're looking for something with kind of a unique feel, something that's not looking like all the new builder great homes that they're selling now, then this area could be for you. It's got a lot of character to it. However, you can see as we drive here, a lot of the homes tend to be run down a bit. They need rehabbing. There's a number of them that have gone through that process already, but most of them have not. But you can see they're a lot smaller, usually single story, maybe about 1,400 square feet or so. But if you are looking for, they have a lot of roundabouts here in this area, but if you are looking for something that is at least less expensive in the West Salem area, then this is going to be the neighborhood for you. I'm going to turn the camera around. The nice thing about West Salem is that you can find a home pretty much in any price range. And again, as I said, when you're living in the flats, I call this flats just because every other neighborhood we're going to show you is hillside property. It's all in the hills. So if you don't like hills, but you want to be in West Salem, then this is pretty much your real only opportunity to live in a neighborhood that doesn't have hills. I think the benefit is here that you're just super close to all of your amenities, and you're also really close to the bridge access to get over into the rest of Salem, making it a lot more convenient and a lot less likely you're going to get stuck in traffic along Wallace or Edgewater. I will say that this neighborhood does also butt up against a lot of kind of an industrial portion of West Salem. The industrial portion of West Salem is basically behind Wallace and Edgewater, which is part of this Flats neighborhood. Just behind there, you've got a lot of industrial complexes. You have a few restaurants there. You also have Capital City Sports, which is, if you're into sports, a great place it's an indoor baseball batting cage. They've got coaches there that teach youth sports. So side note, if you do have a sports family, that is on this side of town. They're really good. And speaking of sports, we are going to show you Walker Middle School. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see Walker Middle School and the fields that we play on are coming up soon. You can see over here to the left, you got the fields, and they got food trucks that come here, and they try to make it as nice as they can using the school facilities. So this is pretty much the flats that we had just driven by, most affordable part of West Salem. We're going to get back onto Wallace Road and take you into a lot of the residential spots so you get a good feel of what it's like to live in the neighborhoods in West Salem. There's quite a few different spots that feel a little bit different, but again, everything that we're going to see now is hillside property, which I actually really enjoy because I like the space it gives me. I like from my neighbors the privacy. I like the views I can get. Now, not all homes come with them, but it's some great views. And again, I just feel like you get to see views of farmland, views of neighborhoods, the hills, parts of downtown. You can see Mount Hood. You can even see the Willamette River from certain neighborhoods. So really, to me, I love that aspect of it. We are back on Wallace Road, going back to Glen Creek Road, where we were, where the Roth's Market was, one of the lower expensive gas station was, the Chipotle I had mentioned. So we're at this intersection. I'll turn you around just so you can see where we are. We're heading north into West Salem, and when we continue down this road, we're going to pass some really major east-west streets, including Glen Creek Road, which, if I made a left here, going west, we would be going into residential neighborhoods. So we're going to head north though, just to show you what Glen Creek Road is. I love this street because during fall especially, the colors change and the trees are beautiful, and it's just a nice road to travel on. Not a whole lot of retail once you get past this little area. To the left, you have a bunch of professional services, including some doctor's offices, dentists, and whatnot. Now we just passed Orchard Heights. That'll take you into more residential. Let me turn the camera around here. As well as that'll take you right into the other middle school, Straub, and the only high school in West Salem, which is West Salem High. So we're traveling along Wallace Road. Now this road can get pretty busy, not necessarily going north into the neighborhood, but heading out of the neighborhood during rush hour, during the morning a little bit, but mainly in the afternoon around 4:30. It'll get backed up a few miles. It'll add maybe another 5 minutes or so. It's not that bad. I think people make it a lot worse than what it is. However, there's going to be a lot more traffic coming along because they're doing a lot more building in West Salem, especially multifamily apartments, some condos, and that's going to really add to the traffic, especially because there's really only one way in and out of West Salem, and that's over the bridge, and Wallace takes you right into that bridge. So over time, this is going to get worse, there's no doubt, but I don't think it's that bad, especially coming from a big city like myself. Not a bad idea, but not a big deal. I'm going to turn the camera over here, and we're going to make a left, because this is on the newer side, the checkpoint 221. It's really outside of where we just were. The only dining experience that you're going to get in West Salem area. They got a few shops here, architect, nail salon, a florist, but really the main draw is the dining hall food pod area, which is really cool. It's same shared parking lot of this apartment complex. We're going to get in there. There's about 12 food pods here. Not food trucks, they're not mobile, they just stay here the whole time. And it's really cool. They got a nice dining hall where we're passing now. B-roll should be popping up right about now, showing you what it's like. But you can see the pods here, and they've got a great sampling of food. My kids and my family love it. They've got Thai food, taco place, fish and chips, a breakfast spot, quesadilla place, Indian food. Boy, I'm missing stuff. A burger place, boba, pasta, and so a lot to choose from. And they have an indoor dining hall, which is really great, especially because it does get rainy and can get cold here. So indoor, outdoor eating, and in the indoor spot, they got a pub, bar. They also have live music. They have live entertainment there, which is nice. Local artists, which play there often. We've seen a few people play. Local organizations use it. It's a really cool spot, and I really enjoy it because it's, again, you don't have to go all the way into the main shopping area of West Salem. I'm going to turn the camera around because to make note, just know if you're heading down this part of Wallace, this is where police officers like to hang out. So just 45 speed limit. Just know that they're going to be hanging out here. Here's the third gas station we're passing. 76, probably the most expensive of all three gas stations, and we're gonna go pretty far deep into West Salem, the neighborhood that I kind of teased earlier in this video. We're gonna go hit up right now so you can get a feel for it. That's one of my favorite spots. That's why I moved to it. We're passing Salem Town to the right. It is a retirement community, golf course community. So if you are, I'm not going to take you in there, but if you are thinking about that, hit me up and we'll get you set. You can, all these trees here during the fall turn beautiful colors. So it's beautiful, beautiful street. Let me turn you back here. If you are thinking about making the move to Salem and you want more information, make sure you hit us up at the contact information below. My team and I love helping people move and relocate to Salem, out of Salem, whatever your needs are. We're here. Hit it. Also, if you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button to get more videos. Hit the like button. Comment below. I'd like to know if you are thinking about West Salem, why you're thinking about West Salem. If you have questions, I can answer it there as well. And I'm going to flip the camera around because we're getting at the end of West Salem, as far north as you can get. If I continue, we're going to head into farmland and wine country. Yes, West Salem is adjacent to wine country. And in fact, in this neighborhood we're going to be turning into, there's a winery up here. So within 5 minutes, you're hitting up wineries. And we have some great wineries in the area. I love being this close to it. And you'll hit McMinnville. Farmland was back that way. And you'll see actually farmland is right here. It's one of the reasons I love West Salem and this neighborhood. Actually, I should take a quick note here. This area right here is being built. New construction here. It's rare in West Salem, but this is a new community. D.R. Horton's building these out. It's called Misty Meadows. If you have any questions about new construction, you want new construction, make sure you hit me up. It's actually in the neighborhood really close to where I live, was also built by D.R. Horton. And these homes are being built. They're not quite ready, but you can see new construction coming soon to West Salem. So back at it, we're going up this hill. Farmland to the right. Excuse me. Farmland to the right. You got cows here, usually hanging out. They're not out right now, but I love driving by cows on my way home. Horses are here. And that to me is something that's really special about West Salem, is that you can really breathe out here. You have so much more space, so much more streets that are just tree lined, so many more streets that are, it's all residential. You're just driving through kind of forest area or farmland. Not a lot of retail and commercial once you get outside of that Edgewater and Wallace Road area. It's all residential, and I just feel a good sense of space here. It's one of the big reasons my family and I are really drawn here. We want to be close enough to all the amenities, but not right in the middle of it. We wanted to be able to just drive there within 10-15 minutes and really enjoy living out on the outskirts. And when I need a breath of fresh air, I take a drive through the farmland. It's really peaceful, it's quiet, it's soothing for me. And then again, wineries. I'm going to switch you over right here, straight ahead. We've got Grapevines. That's Red Hawk Vineyards. And a lot of people in the neighborhood that I'm about to pull into have membership here. You can just walk right over. So this is one of my favorite communities here. You're as far out in West Salem as you can be. And I find the homes here to be really nicely built. And some of the homes have some really nice views, which we chose that as one of the big draws for us. And it's quiet here. There's really no reason to be in the neighborhood unless you live here, and that's pretty attractive, especially if you've got a family with kids. My kids love hanging out here. We feel really comfortable and safe, and I really love these views. It's a little bit hazy today, but on good days I'm seeing Mount Hood. Right now we're looking into the Willamette Valley area. You've got the mountains, the Cascades right in front of us. And then from certain areas in West Salem, again, you can see the city. So we're going to drive down here, and they've got an open park. This is the Whispering Heights area of West Salem. To the right, you have an open field that will never be built, and they have a community garden. Kids love playing in this field here in the garden. People love planting here. You always see they have people hanging out, playing ball, walking their dogs. They have a walking path. When it snows here, and it does get some dusting of snow here, it does stick actually a few times out of the year. Great place for sledding. My kids love it. Bonus for hillside living is you get built-in sledding because you're on a hill. So the kids are out and about during the snow days, and they absolutely love it. Most of the homes here that we're driving by were going to be built between 2011 up to currently being built now. So fairly new tract of homes. And again, you can see this is West Salem living, hills and views. And that is why a lot of people move out here. Now, I mentioned feeling safe in this neighborhood. Kids walk to their bus stops. They're always hanging out on their bikes, their scooters, going over each other's homes. Now, coming from a big city, I'm not used to that. I didn't feel comfortable at all in the big city, in the neighborhoods that we lived in. I just didn't feel right. But in here, people are walking their dogs, really dog friendly here. And let me take you through some more of this neighborhood. And yeah, just feel absolutely safe. Now, I'm not saying crime doesn't happen in West Salem, because it does. Crime happens everywhere. I just don't feel it as much. Again, because we're away from the city center, there's not a lot of reason to be in West Salem in general, unless you live here, or if you're driving through to McMinnville, or if you work in the farming industry, or if you work in the winery industry. That's really the only reason to come through here. And it's a really tight-knit community, really close. Neighbors know each other. We all look out for each other. And the homes here, as you can see, are really well manicured. People take pride in their properties here, and that says a lot for property values, home values, and just feeling a sense of pride in living in a community and in a neighborhood. We're going to make a right here and get out of this neighborhood here. Again, you can see hills, hillside, tree-lined views. People love it here, and I can understand why. That's why we chose to live here. So we're going to show you some other parts of West Salem, show you some the major cut-through streets so you get an idea of where things are in relation to Wallace and Edgewater and all the amenities. And I'm going to show you what some of the other neighborhoods look like. All right, we are on Brush College and heading towards Dokes Ferry. So behind us, if I go Brush College, you're going to go into more farmland, the rural parts of West Salem. Actually, they're building a big apartment complex there as well. But right now, we are at the corner of Brush College and Dokes Ferry. If we continue straight, we're going to hit up Wallace. And so you all know where Wallace is. We have Brush College Park to the left corner here. It's a small park, playground, little forest trail, which is nice for kids to run around. They've got disc golf, not a huge course, but just a few baskets to throw your discs in. Now we're heading up Dokes Ferry. Turn the camera around here back to me. Dokes Ferry is going to take us to Glen Creek, which is the next major east-west street. And what I like, again, I'm just going to show you an example of what driving through West Salem is. So let me turn you back around. Got a big glare, sorry about that. But this is West Salem at its finest. Tree-lined, not a lot of brick, commercial. It's quiet and peaceful. And this to me is what living in a smaller town is all about. This is what I wanted. And yes, I can live in other parts of West Salem and still feel smaller town, but not like this. Unless parts of South are like this. We'll get to that another time. We just passed another park. So coming up here, we're going to make a left here, but before to the right, catty corner is West Salem High School, which I'll show you in a little bit. We're going to make a left. We are on Orchard Heights now. I think I said Glen Creek, but we're on Orchard Heights. And to the left is going to be the middle school, one of the other middle schools, Straub Middle School. And then here we've got a bunch of residential neighborhoods to the right. We'll be passing a fire station to the right. There's a few fire stations here. Now, I should say, one of the concerns about living in West Salem, because you have to live across the bridge, is safety and getting to the hospital. Let me make a right into here. We're going into West Hills Estates to give you another feel for another type of neighborhood. Again, hills, just like where we were, Whispering Heights and Chandler Estates, Brush College, but now Different feel, right? A little bit more brick. These houses, I should have mentioned before, where we were in the Whispering Heights neighborhood, those houses were between 5 and 700,000, maybe a little bit more depending on the size. This neighborhood's going to be a little bit more expensive. And here you're 6s to 8 and change, again depending on the size of the home, but they tend to be a little bit larger here, a little bit more established. The trees, again, the trees are a little bit more older growth here, and the lots can be a little bit bigger than where we just came out of. Now, I wanted to go back to the whole safety thing. There's no hospitals on this side of town. We have an urgent care and some medical buildings, but no hospital. The main hospital is across the bridge in the downtown area. But we do have a few fire departments, so rest assured, you don't need fire departments to go across the bridge. But if you are ever in need of getting to the hospital for any type of emergency, or for whatever reason that's just important to you, West Salem may not be the right choice, because you do have to cross the bridge. And if there is a emergency or a problem on that bridge, it's going to cause some big delays. If they have a lane closed, or if the whole bridge shuts down, God forbid, that would really mess things up. Because as I mentioned, to get across the Willamette River, you got about 20 minutes north of West Salem or 30 minutes south of West Salem. And that's just kind of the way it is. So just be warned. Let me turn you back around. Here, we just passed entryway to an elementary school. There's elementary schools all over West Salem area, and they're all pretty good, my understanding. We really enjoy the one that my son goes to and my youngest will go to. So yeah, that's good to know. In West Salem, for the most part, the schools are really nice. But you can see these homes are 2 and 3 stories, depending on where you are on the hillside. 4, 5, and 6 bedroom homes, and that's just like the neighborhood we were just in as well, where I first took you. And there are homes that are a little bit older and a little bit smaller in those neighborhoods, but just know that, you know, in these neighborhoods you're going to find larger homes, more vaulted ceilings in this neighborhood, which I really enjoy. Some of these homes have theater rooms, which is pretty cool. We are back onto Orchard Heights, and we're going to head towards the high school. I'm going to turn you around so you have a better idea. We're going back to Orchard Heights and Dokes Ferry. It's where we were before. Let me take you past here. To the left is going to be the high school. Beautiful high school. I actually thought it was, to me, it looked like a college campus. You know what? I'll take you through it. So if you have high school age kids, this is the only high school in West Salem, and I hear they got great sports programs, great academics. They really take pride in the school. You can see it's a pretty new facility. Really nice campus here. They do a lot of summer camps here. My son's done baseball camp. They do basketball camp here, volleyball camp. And we're gonna turn back around here, get back out. I don't need to see the whole high school. Oh, I will say, if you live anywhere near the high school, you're going to hear Friday night lights here. You're going to hear the band practice. And so just be prepared for that. If it's something that doesn't bother you, then don't worry about it. But especially Friday nights and on whatever days they practice band, well, that's something to consider. But it is pretty popular here, the football game. So I will say that if you like high school football, it is a thing for sure. So we're going to take you in more parts of West Salem. I'm going to take you to kind of more expensive area, Eola Heights, and we'll show you what that's like. You get a little bit more of kind of estate-like properties, more land, and some really cool views of the Willamette River. And then I'm going to take you through, let's see, take you through some farmland areas so you can see if you want the option, if you want to live in West Salem and have acres, and not necessarily farmland, I should just say, if you just want acreage, big property, then West Salem has definitely got you covered. You're not going to find that in many parts of Salem. West Salem does have that. So if you want that space and still be pretty close to amenities, then West Salem is certainly a neighborhood you should consider. I'm going to turn you back around just to see what the drive is like. Again, you can see tree line, lots of green, and during the fall, beautiful colors up and down these streets. All right, we're on the corner of Dokes Ferry and Eola. We went straight, we would hit up to 22, which highway that'll take you into the coast or into Independence and Monmouth, or back into Salem. But we made a right onto Eola, and this is going to take you into kind of more of estate style properties if that's what you're looking for. And I'm going to turn the camera around so you can kind of see, because we're going to be entering it pretty soon here. Going up this hill, and we are now entering Eola Heights. And to the left, you're going to start seeing some bigger homes, bigger properties. These have river views, downtown views, valley views. And then to the right, you have some bigger homes too. Here, I'll point over here. More land. And these ranch style homes, which are really beautiful. Now these homes are massive, and again, beautiful views. Over $1 million, so for sure you got to have the budget for it. And when we continue along this road, this goes right into farmland and just more acreage property. You are about, I'm going to turn around here. We're about 10 minutes to the amenities or so. And you're not going to really hit any traffic. I'm going to back up here and go back. You're not going to really hit it. Hold on a second. Had some car issue there for a minute. All right. Yeah, about 10 minutes. You're not going to really hit any traffic getting into all the amenities. So, again, you've got some really cool views even just on this road. It's hazy, but I promise you, on the clear days, you got the Cascade Mountains and city views. Really cool. Now, you also have an older community of Eola Heights, which are a little bit smaller homes. Again, good size homes still, just a bit older. And I'm going to turn the camera around so you can kind of get a feel for it right here. So again, you're really further out from all the amenities here, but it's a really quiet life. And so if that's what you're looking for, you may want to check out these neighborhoods here up in the Eola Heights area. You can see there, got a glare on the camera. Sorry about that, but it's a nice sunny day here in Salem. Okay, so now we're going to head back down into another part of other parts of Salem to give you an idea of more neighborhoods. Okay, now we're in a neighborhood off of Eola Drive. Now, if you take Eola Drive back down into Salem, that'll take you over to the shopping center area off of Edgewater. So like where we saw Urban Grange and Wallery's Pizza, Safeway in that area. So this is the neighborhood that's just up Eola Drive. These homes here, again, really sizable homes, 4 or 5 bedroom homes, maybe even 6, some of these. Two stories and 3 stories, depending on where you're on the hill. And ranging between $600 and change to $800 and change $1,000. But a really nice area to live in. Again, hillside, so you have a really good chance of getting some spectacular views of the community and of the neighborhood. We're going to head out of this neighborhood. I'm going to go and show you Orchard Heights, that road, because again, that road leads into West Salem. There's a really nice park there called Orchard Heights Park. It's pretty popular, so we're going to look for what that's like too, because it's another draw for the community in West Salem. And actually, before I take you over to Orchard Heights, I wanted to take you through another neighborhood. This is off of Glen Creek. And the reason I wanted to show you this is because I know I mentioned in the flats around 300,000, and then a lot of these other neighborhoods I was showing you 600 and change up to 800 and change, 9 and even up to $1 million. Well, I'm gonna turn the camera around, just give you an idea. This is a neighborhood, again, West Salem off of Glen Creek, so you're about 5 minutes from Wallace and the shopping areas. These homes are going in the fours. So 400, 500,000. You can go a little bit higher if the homes are bigger, but I did want to show you that there is a wide range of property values and prices in West Salem. So you don't have to worry about always paying super high prices, and just know that, you know, it's kind of have something for everyone. So, which is nice, because not a lot of neighborhoods have that, especially in hillside properties. A lot of hillside properties are always kind of more on the expensive side, but not in this case. So when you're in West Salem, you do have a lot of options, which makes it nice there's something for everybody. So now we're going to head out of this neighborhood and get over to Orchard Heights Park, because it is a pretty popular place to be, and big community draw. All right, we are on Orchard Heights right now, and I'm going to switch the camera around so you can see there's some new construction of apartment buildings being put in, and off of Orchard Heights. So West Salem is mainly single-family residents, but there are apartment communities, condo communities. We're passing one right now. Orchard Heights is a big apartment complex there. It's pretty popular. So again, going down here, I'm going to show you the park. Again, I'm just pointing out the streets and how peaceful and beautiful it is. And again, when you compare it to other parts of Salem, I think nature has everyone beat out in West Salem here. So we're going to make a left into Orchard Heights Park so I can give you an idea of what that's like. I'll be here actually later today. My son has soccer practice here. So we're entering the park. They've got 2 baseball diamonds, pickleball courts, tennis courts. They have a playground, a little fenced-in dog park area. You have to excuse the bumps as we go in. And there's single-family homes surrounding the park area, which is nice. And there's also a trail. B-roll should be popping up right about now. I love little creek in the area. My kids love just taking a little stroll. It's nice. Take a little break from the playground. You can see here. This place is pretty packed. Usually after school hours or on the weekends. You can see people playing pickleball now. And the field here is used for soccer practice, flag football practice. A lot of the club baseball teams come out here and practice. The YMCA use it for their leagues. They use it for their teams here in West Salem. So it's a nice local park right in the middle of a residential neighborhood. People walk their dogs here, people run here, they walk here, and just a little nice place to go, surrounded by trees, and you really wouldn't know that you're right against Orchard Heights, which is a main street. So we're going to get back onto Orchard Heights. All right, we're going back onto Orchard Heights, and the direction we're going into now is towards the amenities area. We're going to head right into Wallace. In Orchard Heights, this area Again, you're like 5 minutes from all your amenities, which is nice. I'm gonna flip the camera around just so you get a feel for what the street looks like. There we are. And there, you see the light in front of us, that's Wallace. And so, making a right here, going south, will take you into Roth's Shopping Center, Walgreens, and eventually over the bridge. And then making a left will take you to where Checkpoint 221 and one of the first neighborhoods I showed you. Now, I should mention along Wallace, there's a lot of apartment complexes there. There's some senior living facilities. And so, as I mentioned, most of West Salem is going to be single-family residential homes, but there are a handful, quite a few multi-family complexes. You're going to find them mainly around Wallace, Orchard Heights. You're going to find new ones on Brush College. And then there's a few scattered throughout the West Salem neighborhood. So what I want to take you through next, you can see, I'm going to turn the camera around just so you have an idea here. We're back to where all the amenities are: professional services, shopping, retail, restaurants. And again, straight ahead is going to be the bridge to get out of West Salem into the downtown area. So you can see it's not too bad, right? I mean, when you're in the neighborhoods, it's like maybe 10 minutes to get, 5-10 minutes to get where your shopping is. So what I want to do is show you kind of more of the acreage property, a little bit of the farmland area, and where the wineries are in the West Salem area. And again, if you are thinking about making the move here, hit us up at the contact information below. My team and I love Salem, West Salem area. I live in West Salem, so if West Salem is somewhere you're thinking about, make sure you definitely get in touch with me. Comment below. Again, would love to know what you've seen so far, if there's anything that you like or maybe dislike about West Salem. And subscribe. We got a lot of great videos out here giving you a lay of the land of what it's like to live and move to Salem. So let's head over to more of the rural part of West Salem and show you what that's like. Now, as we're driving to these more rural parts, I talked a lot about these main streets that run through West Salem. I figure it's good to point out now. Your main north-south street is going to be Wallace, and again, you've seen what that looks like. And then you have a lot of east-west streets that cut through, and you have you have Edgewater, where you have a lot of the retail. You also have Glen Creek, which again runs into Wallace, and that takes you into residential neighborhoods. And then you have Orchard Heights, which is the next major east-west street. And that takes you to the high school and to residential neighborhoods. Then you have Brush College. That'll take you through residential neighborhoods, and then eventually into acreage property, farmland area. So and outside of that, it's a lot of windy roads and not really set up like a grid. So as far as navigating, it may not be the easiest to navigate because you're twisting and winding. It's definitely not a square. And so if you don't know where you're going, you got to make sure you got your Waze or Google Maps or whatever you've got pulled up to get where you need to go, because it's not easy. And that also adds a little bit more to the drive time because you're just not in a gridded neighborhood. So you've got to wind around different parks, wind around different open land, wind around different neighborhoods. So it does add that element. So if that's not what you're looking for, if you want something a little bit more easy to navigate, you may want to reconsider West Salem. But again, for me, I like it. I don't like something that's just gridded out and planned out like that. I like where I just, again, feel like I'm away from the hustle and more in nature and a little bit more fresher air. And that's exactly what you're going to get in West Salem. It's also very friendly, community-wise and family-wise. I mentioned before, just not in my specific neighborhood where I live in, but just in general, I feel like it's just a kind of a wholesome part of Salem. So let's get you into that area where, if you want some real space, multiple acres, big homes, or not even just a big home, but just multiple acres. We're going to show you what that's like right now. Okay, we're now on the outskirts of West Salem, where you're going to find acre property, farmland, wineries, and we're just up actually Orchard Heights, which is a little bit west of, starting a little bit west of West Salem High School, and then all of a sudden, here, let me turn you around. You're into farmland, and they've got, I mean, you name it, they grow it out here. A lot of great Christmas tree farms. They've got vegetables, fruit farms, and also just lots and lots of land. So even if you're not a farmer, you can buy property out here and enjoy just a lot of space. And then there's a lot of wineries out here. And again, this is where I like to drive, sometimes clear my head and just kind of escape. And this is, I mean, it's depending on where you live in West Salem, 5 minutes out, 10 minutes out, and you're on these beautiful roads. And this is all green. Right now it's summer, so you see it's a little bit dried out, but it's beautiful land out here. And so this is, let me turn the camera back around to me. This is what I feel like West Salem is about. You know, you got a mix of great communities, great neighborhoods, some really good schools, great parkland, all your amenities there, and then just a few minutes out and you are in wine country, in farm country. And if you want that acreage, you've got it here, and you're just, again, really close to a lot of amenities. Actually, you know what? I'm going to turn the camera around. I was going to say a few more words here, but let me just show you again more of the farmland. So you can see what I'm talking about. Beautiful out here. So if you are thinking about making the move to West Salem and you want more information, hit us up at the contact information below, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Subscribe to the channel for more videos. If you want that fresh air, if you want to be away from it all, you're just over the bridge to the rest of the amenities, super close to downtown, but not living right in the middle of the action, then West Salem's definitely going to be an option for you. We'll see you on the next video.